Welcome to the Peaceful Warrior podcast featuring a mom space segment today. I am joined by just a really beautiful spirit, Matrina Dorsey. Do I have you on the line, Matrina?
Yes, you do. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so glad you could come on today and just talk about a few things that are relevant to you as a mom. And one of the special things about this episode is me and Matrina actually met slinging houses, selling real estate.
Yes, we
And
did.
we've both been doing it for a while at this point now, but it's always good to find good people in the industry that we're blossoming in as women, as moms. But tell me, I'm not quite sure I know. Were you selling real estate prior to having children, or was it something where after maybe you had your daughter, you started looking into selling real estate?
To answer your question, I was not selling real estate before I became a mom, but in being a mom, I always look for job opportunities that would allow me flexibility with my time, so that I could, be home for, when they got out of or just have the time to take them to the games or whatever the case may be. I always look for career that would give me that flexibility. Again, I was not doing real estate prior to I became a mom, but real estate was something that I got into when my children were, teenagers,
Mm.
and it's been really good to me.
Good. That's good to hear. A lot of times I've noticed in the real estate industry, it's kind of a family thing where, oh, my mom sold real estate, my aunt sold real estate, something like that. I know that story isn't the same for me, but is that also kind of how it is for you? Or are you one of the first people in your family to, try your hand at something like that?
I had a uncle that
Okay.
was in real estate and he did really well. Um, I when I saw him, he always had on like food and he always drove nice cars. Um, so I just remember growing up with that uncle. It was like, yeah, he's in real estate and he does well. So it was something that was just appealing to me, seeing that. But my mom was a stay-home mom. She was a school patrol
Mm.
guard for 30 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Matrina.
Yes, yes. So she literally just walked us, kept a few kids when they got out of school until their parents came home, and that was her number one. Her number one job was being a
Was
mom,
you
which
all? Oh, wow. I did not know that. Do you think that that's played a part in how you approach motherhood then as well?
it has because I look at it as the most important role in my life, other than being a woman of God, other than sharing love. One of my main responsibilities, the favor that God placed upon me, is to be a mom. So
Wow.
um, I think my mother was a very strong woman. Um,
Mm.
I know in today's world she wouldn't be considered a boss mom. She was a stay-home mom. But I really think there's power in learning how to control your emotions, be
Mm.
disciplined, and to have a sacrificial spirit, and just have that internal love within yourself that you don't need validation from outside sources. So I learned to look at that as a strength, and I really enjoy that. I
I'm so
that was
glad
the
you
biggest
shared
impact on
that.
me.
Yeah, because that must be a huge piece of you. And it's interesting that you mentioned the piece about what boss means. And I had never thought about that, you know, um, how we include women in what we call a boss circle or making boss moves. But you know what? I look at shows like Housewives. all the cities and states they do. And, they are really portraying these women who they're calling housewives, as bosses. So
Right.
maybe in this day and time, she actually would be
A
considered that.
boss. That's
Yeah, especially,
right.
with the support from you. And speaking of support and mother-daughter relationships, and we'll get on your son in a moment, of course, because I know you have a beautiful queen and a beautiful king. Your daughter, she just finished school, correct? She is done with schooling now, college?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I was so proud of her, how she
Yeah.
really handled school. She handled school well. Like, she stayed on top of her grades. She made the dean's list. She kept her scholarships, the honor roll. And now she's actually taken a position in Dallas. She wanted to leave Atlanta. She just wanted a fresh start somewhere else, and she did it. So I'm very proud of her.
Now,
Very,
does
very.
she get her study habits from her mom? Because you actually ended up going back to school. She probably was a little bit more strict on herself than even you with school.
I want to say that I do think that watching me go back to school and getting my master, I
Whoop,
actually
whoop. Push
I
it out
actually
there
did a
now.
dual
What did you
master.
get your master's in? Don't be shy.
So I decided to go back to school and get my master's. One is in real estate development, and the second one is in construction management. So, watching me go through that and push through that, I know that my daughter was inspired because she's working her second job, and actually loving it. And she's already working on her master's, so she'll have her master's this May. So, and she's only
Wow.
25. So,
We are so impressed by Miss Sasha Fierce, honey. We are super happy, and I definitely wish her the best of luck in her new endeavors, in Dallas. Do you feel like your son was a big part of supporting you while you went back to school? How did he take it when you said, I want to, put a hard hat on and break some ground and do something a little bit different than what you might have seen mom do? You also, of course, are a licensed hairstylist.
so, my son, when he saw me go back to school and he saw the things that I wanted to do, and I would, of course, talk to him about my dreams, because I believe that one of the gifts that we can give our children is the gift to learn how to dream. Because when we learn how to dream, it's like setting up a roadmap for us. And we need to teach them to dream big. And I'm a big dreamer, because I feel like, once I set that dream out there and once I accomplish it, it's I know that God's going to help me do that. And when I look back and when people look back, there will be no doubt in anyone's mind how that happened, right? How I accomplished that. My looked at me when he saw all the things that I was doing, and his words were, "Mom, you are amazing," and that just warmed my heart.
Gosh, that does more than warm the heart. That overflows the teapot there. That's an amazing feeling for someone to refer to you as amazing. And speaking of amazing and amazing grace, I noticed that you did mention God twice. So I'm gonna go there because you brought it up twice. How big of a role does
Yes.
just your everyday? I don't mean those big goals that we create or the objectives that we demand ourselves to check off the list. I mean, just in your day to day walk with God. Like, how is that so influential in your life to where you would bring him up twice already?
Well, I feel that, well, not only feel, I know that it is my enlightened level of spirituality that has propelled me to the magnitude of the person that I am today. And I don't just put him first in everything I do. I feel him in everything I do. Before this podcast, I said a prayer. I said a prayer for you. I said a prayer for all of your audience, everyone that's listening.
Mm-hmm.
I I maintain my relationship with God every day,
Just throughout the day.
just
And
throughout the day.
that's so powerful that you blessed me with your prayers. I think we were probably doing the same thing. That's one of the things I really enjoy about connecting with you is there's never a problem or hesitation to bring up God. Even in our just day-to-day conversation, we might be talking about designer shoes and hair and scarves and food, and then some kind of way he's interjected into our conversation. I love that. And I think we were doing the same thing before this call. We were both just putting out, that good prayer. I was listening to some affirmations myself, just because you want to be, in that present moment and experience him in every moment. So I think it's beautiful. And I think you definitely have been blessed accordingly to your relationship with him as well. So I'm so glad you were able to touch on that and not be shy about it. And speaking of, I brought up food just randomly just then. You are one of like my foodie friends. Like we really do love good food. Bringing it back to the mom space, do you feel like your diet has changed maybe since before you had kids? Have you tried to become more consciously aware of like the example of food, even for your children, for what they eat or how they eat, or their esteem related to food? You do?
I do. I can say that before I became a mom, I didn't eat bad, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mentioned earlier that I had a stay-at-home mom, so my mother literally prepared breakfast and lunch and dinner. Like, so I had homemade meals every day, all
But
day.
that's not you though. You're not doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
I'm not doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it was very important to me to give my kids home cooked food when they were little.
Yeah.
For example, when I would try to make my own chicken nuggets. Like they always wanted chicken nuggets, so make I would just make them chicken nuggets, and I learned how to make homemade potato chips and all these different things.
Wow.
But now the way I eat, I try to um, again, as I learn more about uh, my body as I age and how important it is to connect the things that we're putting in our body with our health, and treating it as it should be, like our temple. It's God's gift to us, right? It's how we are basically enjoying this human
Exploring the
experience
world. Yes,
through this
exactly.
body. So we
Exactly.
have to take care of it. And I do, know my kids joke around when they say, okay, we know if
Mm-hmm.
mom has it, it's organic. Because
Exactly.
so it does affect the way I am as a mom. And of course I want to share those things with them. So the
Mm-hmm.
more things that I learn, because my kids are older now, I share that with them, because I want them to truly connect with how they're taking care of their bodies, and have that connection with what they're putting in their mouth is basically affecting how they show up in the world, right? Because our health is our wealth.
Wow. And
So
these are terms that you use with them regularly. You say things like that around them regular, and they're not just like, Mom, please stop. Are they getting it? Do you feel like they're
they are
connected
getting
to it?
it. My daughter, both of my children work 5 days a week. So they are
Oh,
very health conscious. They
wow.
work out 5 days a week. And
Oh,
both of them are all about cooking their food and eating healthy. Um, I do struggle with them on a couple of things, that I don't eat
that's
pork,
normal.
but they still eat pork. But
Yeah.
they still do it in moderation. But for the most part, I think they are very health conscious. And they work out because they've seen me work out. And I know that I planted that seed, and that feels good to watch that grow.
Oh, That was well said, well stated. And I was over here thinking, like, that's right. Even me and you have met up uh, at the gym a few times to work out. I know it's one of your happy places to go to and visit. And I know that you're constantly exploring water and supplements. And
Mm-hmm.
just this morning, literally just this morning, when I'm talking to you before this, like, I don't know if I want to do coffee. Like, what's something I could do instead of coffee? And I just got a kick out of that because that is so you, just trying to find what's the alternative to this? How can I tighten it up just a little bit more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you found something. If not, I did come up with a few other thoughts that I've seen other people, like these Celsius drinks I've seen. I don't even know if you've tried that, or, and believe me, I'm not promoting it because I don't even know really what's in them. But definitely you would be the one, if anyone, that could find an alternative to some coffee that could work out for you very well. I believe in that.
Yeah, I did a herbal tea, and I had a couple of drops of ginseng, and
Oh wow.
and it gave me some energy. So
Well, you're bringing it, so you definitely have brought your energy and just your warm thoughts today. I'm not sure if there's anything else that you wanted to, touch on as far as being a mom, or any words that you wanted to give to moms today. But I'm just so glad you were able to share your perspective between the real estate and, and the health and how it relates to our kids, and just being super excited about them absorbing those things that we put out there for them to absorb, and just knowing that you've been a good source of confidence for them as well for these things.
yes, it is a great feeling. I know. I think I said this before. I feel like being a mom is one of the most important roles that we will have in this lifetime. It is a blessing. It's favor. It's like God's favor over our lives. We are co-creators with God, and not only are we co-creators in our own life, but we became a co-creator in giving life to another individual. And I just want, I guess, the moms out there to really think about that and hone in on the blessing that is, and how God has favored you and us in that role, and to just wake up every day and ask for his strength, ask for his guidance,
As
and
for his
just be
patience, honey,
still.
patience.
Yeah. and and just listen.
And that's
Just
good
listen.
that
Turn
you
off the
brought up
television. Turn
too.
off the television. Listen to iPods, podcasts like this. Turn off the
I
television.
am 100% with you. And I'm so glad you brought up, asking. That's the question that I actually want to ask anyone that steps across this platform as a mom. What does ask and ye shall receive mean for you or to you in your life? Ask and ye shall receive.
So right now, I think, it has meant different things to me throughout my life. But for now, with where I am in terms of my spirituality, it just seems like it's so simple. It's very simple. As long as I'm in alignment with God and in alignment with what's in my heart, is in alignment with my words and my actions, then all I have to do is simply ask and I will receive.
I love it. You make it sound so simple, and that's what I love. The best
It
things
really
in
is.
life are the simplest things, and for you to find that elegance and the simplicity of it all, I really can appreciate that approach to asking. And of course, the outliner of all of that was the alignment portion. Everything being in an alignment so that you know what you want to ask for.
Right.
You know what life feels like to have that, to get what you ask for, and then to just simply ask. I like that a lot, and so I'm going to leave it there.